Hey there, greetings. It's Tom Cox, and this is an important training on how to create, update, and maintain your directory listing in our two, yes, count them, two different directories on the ICF Oregon website. This is entirely up to you to maintain, by the way, so make sure you do it. So let's look at the two ways that you could be listed. First off, if you're a credentialed coach, then the public can find you here in the Find a Credentialed Coach listing. Let's click through there. Now notice that a lot of folks don't have their profiles set up yet. They won't look as good to the average browser. So let's have a look at someone who's pretty well set up. There's Sherry Boone. And so she's got a reasonably full listing, name, details. If someone were to click on this row anywhere or click on the name, they get into a detail record. I'll show you that. Or they could click on our website and poof, straight to the website. Won't that be awesome? So let's click on her name or just on this colored area, and it'll go and give a detailed listing here of all the visible fields that the public can see, including a send message. Ta-da! So they could be, this person could reach out to Sherry and get a message to her at her email address. And of course, looking back at the large listing, they can also, if her email were listed here, they could send it. It's not, though. Isn't that interesting? So let's look at another listing where it's even more filled out. And you'll see here, oh, no, I stand corrected. Email addresses are not shown. What is shown on a fully filled out listing is name, city, phone number on the left, the organization name, your face, right, your photo, and one or more websites, and on the right, the logo and your credential if you have one. Now, if you don't have a credential, you're not even in this Credentialed Coach lookup. Lastly, very important marketing text here, I coach courageous, self-actualizing women, etc., etc. That is something you have to provide. So let's click through and see what a member of the public would see. They would see all of this, coaching categories, specialties, the credential, and so on. Now you'll notice that we go in and we'll go ahead and log in as me, and I'll show you what it's like to edit that directory listing. So when you log in, you should immediately go to the My Profile window and you click Edit Profile, and you'll see that there are a whole bunch of fields to fill out. Up here in the top section is, name, title, and so forth. Fill out as much of that as feels appropriate to you. Photo of you should be square, 110 by 110 pixels is a good size. If you do larger, it'll scale it down for you. Then there's your coaching category, your specialties. If you volunteer, you could say whatever you want to there. It's not widely visible. And then I go ahead and put in my city and my address and all that, even though the address is not visible to the public. There's some internal stuff like how'd you hear about ICF and so on. Next down here is the directory listing. Very crucial that you fill this out in whichever way you want it to be seen by the world. Then there is the credential and credential award date, but this is not editable by you, which means I cannot stick in an ICF credential for myself. That has to come from global. We here at the local chapter maintain this field for you. If this is not correct, you must tell us. Please, because if this is blank, you will not show up in this Credentialed Coach listing. Right? Only credentialed coaches will show up here. Now, let's look at that second listing. Now that I've logged in, this members only menu shows up. And let's say I've been to a meeting and I networked and I was attending online through Zoom and I met some cool people and I'm like, oh, I want to get to know these people better. You can go to the private member directory and refresh your mind. Oh, I didn't collect their business card, but I know, oh, it was, let's see, Catherine somebody. Oh, it was Kat Wilson, who, by the way, is awesome. And, oh, yeah, I was going to get in touch with her. And now things like the email address are visible as well as phone number. Now you've got to be careful how you use people's email addresses here. Do not add your colleagues to your newsletter email list willy-nilly. That is spam. The proper way to add people to your contact list is to have an opt-in form on your website, an appropriate form for them to request your message, or you can always email and ask for permission. If you collect their card at a meeting, ask them in words if they want to be added to your mailing list. Don't just add them because you've got their card. Right? Right. Super. And again, if we looked in here, I would see my listing. It's a slightly different listing. There's no logo. Well, I don't have a logo here. But again, it's name, title, organization, website, some contact info, and so on. Great way for you to refresh yourself, fill out your address book, get to know your fellow coaches. So that's how to edit your profile, and it's how to go and look and see how you appear. Now notice that the directory listing text doesn't show up here currently in the private member directory, largely because there's not been a lot of demand for it. But if you were curious about somebody, you can click on their listing and it jumps into the detail listing, which has, the directory listing text visible there. So if you really want to get to know people, this is a way to do it. There you go. How to look people up and how to maintain your own listing. And yes, we do SEO the site, so Google will find you here if you have a fully fledged listing. Very important for your visibility. So that's it on using the directories, on how to get yourself listed as a credentialed coach if that's appropriate for you, how to edit your profile, and how to look up other people's profiles in the private member directory. Thanks for watching. I'm Tom Cox.